Darren Breyer here with you. Seventh inning stretch, a little Monday edition here. Kind of get us caught up on some of the weekend news around Major League Baseball, some of the things to look forward to this week. Not our official seventh inning show here. Obviously, don't have Josh or anybody else with me, but we just wanted to talk some baseball. I'll be doing this sporadically throughout the Major League Baseball season, getting caught up on some of the stuff throughout the weekends, and just a chance to talk a little baseball here mid afternoon on a Monday out here. Fortunate enough to have the day off of work, so thought, hey, let's get on the mic. Let's talk a little baseball. The NBA playoffs going on, I know NHL playoffs, so good time to talk a little baseball as well here on Variety Sports Network. Be sure to like and subscribe. We appreciate anybody that will get a chance to tune into this. Leave a comment. Let us know how your team is doing, what you're seeing around Major League Baseball. I wanted to start with the Mets sweeping the Cardinals this weekend. Caught my attention a little bit with, the Mets. They lost 2 out of 3 to the Twins before that. They beat the A's in a series before that, but Soto, has been kind of struggling. Right, he was 3 for his last 29, I believe. And then he breaks out yesterday, goes 2 for 3 with a double, 3 RBIs. Lindor, he leads off the game with a home run as well, and the Mets end up sweeping the Cardinals. The pitching for me has just been awesome. I mean, 51 earned runs this pitching staff has given up in the whole year. I mean, that's insane. I mean, I mean, you're not going to get that from they've only given up 10 unearned runs. So it tells you the defense has been there as well. They've only given up 150 hits. So the team pitching has been incredible that they're able to get right now, and it's been impressive. Offensively, they're still right there. Maybe they're not hitting with as much power as they would normally want throughout the whole year with some of the guys they have, but they're still one of the best hitting teams in the league, and that's without Soto even really raking yet. So I'll be curious how the Mets going into the series today with the Phillies. They've been awesome at home too. The Mets 9-1 at home. So yeah, and the Phillies they've struggled so far this year on the road. Can the Mets pitching keep it up against the Phillies offense? And can the Phillies pitching that hasn't been that great this year? Can they keep down a Mets lineup that is playing well? And they beat the Cardinals this past week in a 4-game sweep. So curious what the Mets do in this next series against the Phillies, and just been really impressed with the Mets coming out in April as well. Last year, obviously, everybody knows they were terrible last year in the beginning part of the season. So for them to come out, I think the fan base obviously really behind them, especially after the big Soto signing, and they're delivering right now. So that's all you can ask for if you're a Mets fan. They're 15-7, like I said, on the 4-game winning streak here. And they got a big series against the Phillies, and it's good chance if they take 2 out of 3 against Philadelphia. That's a big statement, early statement win. Braves, they did sweep as well this weekend, but they haven't been playing as well. So this would be a big chance for the Mets early on to kind of make that little push early in the standings as they do take on Philadelphia this afternoon, or in my time later evening out the East Coast there. 7 o'clock start out there. So Mets, they get the sweep over the Cardinals. The Cardinals, on the other hand, they drop 4 in a row in that series. So to a team that was like, oh, they're hanging in there, 500, they go right from 500 to below 4 games below. And with the Cubs playing as well as they are, it's kind of a big loss. They play the Braves now coming up this next few days here. So we'll see if they can bounce back against the Braves, who, like I said, just swept the Twins. So it'll be interesting how they bounce back as well. The Phillies, they end up, like I said, they end up playing the Mets coming up here this week, and for them, a big series with them. So I'm curious from the Philadelphia side how that pitching does. That'll be important for me to kind of check into that as we progress. They just played the Marlins, obviously, so not their highest end series there. So we'll see how they do. A couple other things I wanted to get into from the weekend was the Clase Williams, Devin Williams from the Yankees now. Clase with the Guardians. Clase's given up 9 earned runs. Williams 8 earned runs this early in the season. I think Williams has a 9 Ks to 8 base on balls ratio, just absolutely pathetic right now. Clase is getting hit at a high level, even though he's shown that he always keeps people's averages down. And the fact that they're both getting rocked this early in the year, it's interesting with the Yankees. They have Weaver there, and he's been pitching really well for them. They're going to give Williams rope, but I'm curious how much rope they're actually going to give Devin Williams. So we'll see where that lies with the Yankees, and how much faith do they actually put in Devin Williams to continue to not get absolutely shelled. So that will be a big part. And like you said, when you have Weaver there, that's going to be something that that they can always kind of bank on. And if Devin Williams continues to struggle, especially in the walk department, it'll be interesting to see what happens with it. So, he blew that 2-run lead, 3-run lead, giving up 4 runs in the 9th inning against the Rays this weekend. So he hasn't been on his game at all. Like I said, 8 innings pitched, 8 strikeouts, 2.25 WHIP. He's been awful to start. Clase again. So we're talking 2 elite closers that have been completely off their game to start the year, and it'll be interesting if they pick it up. And like I said, Weaver for Williams would be the real. I mean, I could see that happening at some point. Clase, I could see the Guardians. It's hard to see them. I mean, unless he's just absolute garbage. Removing him from that closer position, it feels like they would let him have, well, like I said, season long rope. I don't see that case with Williams if he continues to struggle the way he is. But the Yankees, still playing well. So that part of it is not necessarily affecting him yet, because their pitching's been really good too, with Fried pitching really well this weekend. Rondon pitched well. They're 14-8, and they're pitching well. And so despite Williams blowing some of these games, they're getting away with it early. So as a closer, we'll see if they start losing games. That's where I'd say, okay, maybe Weaver's going to get a chance to jump in there. You look at the Rockies real quick from the weekend too. Some other notes: 4-17 right now are the Rockies. Ouch. For Chris Bryant, no shock to a lot. He goes down again in injury here, so Chris Bryant hits it. They're in trouble. Arise goes down in a collision last night with Houston. See how he bounces back. Sounded like everything checked out, but I'm sure he'll get maybe a day or two here. Maybe end up on the injured list, but it sounds like that's not where it's going to go. Acuna makes some comments towards the Braves manager. What was it? 2019. He sat Acuna for basically not running out a double, cost them an out, and it was in a playoff game too. So nothing. I don't know. It's hard not to be a little critical of somebody that does that. So we'll see what the Snicker does with Acuna. I'm guessing not, based on his comments. He said that he feels like it's this is a different situation with. So we'll see where the Braves go with that. They do get the sweep against the Twins, like I said. Cubs, D-backs, they played a crazy series this past week, with Cubs basically scoring. What was it? They scored 8. The D-backs scored 10 runs in the top of the 8th. Cubs came back, scored 6 in the bottom of the 8th. So for a 16-run 8th inning, Cubs end up pulling out a wild one, 13-11 in that game. Brewers, they get 6 steals against the A's in the first inning over the weekend. Brewers really, I think they ended up with 9 stolen bases in that game, which is crazy to think about. 9 SBs in a game. So A's obviously doing a poor job there, holding runners on and being able to throw them out. So Brewers, one of the more aggressive base running teams in the league, and they prove it this weekend. Mariners also want to point them out there now. They've kind of started to play better, won 8 out of the last 10 games. it's interesting with Rosarena batting 200, Rodriguez batting 188. Mariners getting a lot from Cal Raleigh there. So leads Major League Baseball or tied with Soderstrom with 9 home runs. So the Mariners playing well and making a little push because Texas is playing well too. They did lose 2 out of 3 to the Dodgers, but the Dodgers did pitch really well in the 2 games that they won, both shutouts there. DeGrom pitched well for the Rangers as well, but not enough as the Dodgers take 2 out of 3. Royals, they lose 2 out of 3. The Tigers, they're not playing well right now. And offensively, they have been absolutely terrible. Terrible. The Royals have 11 home runs on the season. 11 people. So they are just not scoring at all. And the Tigers, on the other hand, are looking good. They're getting a lot from their first pick overall, Torkelson. Finally, he's starting to play up to his potential. Carpenter does go down yesterday in extra innings, so we'll see what happens with him. And they're getting a lot from Skubal, Flaherty, and Wise. Both have under 2.5 ERAs and going pitching deeper into games than most people do. So the Tigers are getting a lot from their top 3 guys there in the rotation. Best games this weekend, this week ahead, Padres, Tigers should be a good series. Phils, Mets, obviously we talked about that. Brewers, Giants, Yankees, Guardians, and Dodgers, Cubs. Those are the 5 that kind of stand out to me the most. Houston does play Toronto as well. That one may be a little interesting. The Dodgers, Cubs one for sure. Cubs really playing well to start the season. This was kind of be an early test for them in the year. See how they do against the Dodgers pitching. Can their offense that's been absolutely raking, do they keep up on that? You have Yankees, Guardians matchup from last year's playoff series. Brewers, Giants, like I said, I think that will be a good series. Giants have been playing well. And then you had the Phils, Mets, like we talked about here. And like I said, Padres, Tigers hitting back on that one. Be a big one. Giants, though, they do lose 2 out of 3 this one to the series to the Angels. Mike Trout looking like he was back on Saturday night, went for the 3-run homer game to tie it up, but just missed it in the 9th inning. He did end up with 2 home runs in that Saturday matchup, but he's looking back a little bit. His bat is getting back to electric. The Angels have been playing better baseball, over 500 right now. They get the big win yesterday, the walk-off 3-run double, kind of the play of the weekend, a play of the day. I know the Reds also, kicked a field goal, scored 3 touchdowns. They beat the Orioles 24-2. Cruz made a great play at short, but here's Adele with the walk-off here for the Angels. Great moment with Walker pitching 1 strike away from the win, the Giants, but Adele says no.
Trying to win this series. And Adele lines it. Hits fair down the left field line. Soler scores. Newman scores. Here comes Neto. The winning run on the way. The relay. He is safe. A giant comeback. And the Angels win it 5-4.
One of my favorite parts kind of with that play right there is the players, they can't quite celebrate because they know it's going to be reviewed. So that part of the it's kind of funny. But we still got to wait. So, but he was safe. Neto there with a great slide, and the Angels pull out the win over the weekend there. So little update there baseball-wise. Just wanted to kind of check in with everybody here. 7th inning stretch fans, kind of try to hopefully do this a little bit more throughout the year. I'll have my power rankings out on Thursday morning. Me and Josh probably doing the show Thursday a little bit later this week. So sorry for your East Coast fans that check it out, but we'll be starting a little bit later on that Thursday. But like I said, a lot of good things over the weekend to get into. Make sure you give us a chance. Follow us again over at Variety Sports Network. Look for the 7th inning shows there as well. So a lot to get into this week with like a lot of big series like we just mentioned. So hope everybody out there has a good rest of their Monday. Enjoy it out there. We'll see you guys next time.